you with a future flight. Sign up for Rapid Rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All Rapid Rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
The Heat and Frost Insulators and Illinois Regional Insulation Contractors want to remind you that fire stopping saves lives. If your commercial building, manufacturing, or industrial facility was recently under construction or rehabbed, you'll want to make sure your fireproofing is up to date. Certified and skilled insulation technicians will install fire stop systems that comply with national flame and temperature ratings. For a list of skilled Illinois Regional Insulation Contractors, visit local17insulators.com.
Let's play ball with Tito's. During today's game, if the Northsiders pitchers strike out 9 players, Tito's Handmade Vodka will donate $100 to Anti-Cruelty Chicago.
Take Cubs baseball with you wherever you go in the Chicagoland area with the Odyssey app. Download the app and search 670 The Score. Cubs hosting Cleveland. This is the Cubs radio pregame show driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. It is time now for the inside pitch. We say hello to Score Baseball insider Bruce Levine. Bruce, this is a big month for the Cubs.
It really is, Zach. And the president of baseball operations, Jed Hoyer, has been an open book about needing more pitching to solidify the team's run at 2025 success. Hoyer doubled down on his insistence that the Cubs will trade for both starting and bullpen help.
Now, listen, we've had a lot of conversations with teams. We'll continue to have a lot of conversations, but these things ramp up. They usually take a little break at draft time, and then they ramp up again after that. So, I think that when it comes to acquiring depth, we're on the lookout. We're talking, but with the realization these things usually trend towards late July. And
that said, the Cubs have been involved with few sellers in the marketplace, including Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Miami.
Just in the market in general, I think so many things happen over the next, 25 or so games until the deadline, that the idea that there's a handful of teams that know exactly where they are, but a lot of teams that are in the middle. And look no further than 2023 when all of a sudden we went from sort of sellers to buyers in the last 10 days. So a lot of things are going to change. There's probably some teams that will sell that don't expect to, and vice versa.
Zach, the rotation needs fortification, and with Imanaga back and trades a real possibility, it's a fun time to be a Cub fan.
And they're also 49-35. You're exactly right, Bruce. Tickets are still available for tomorrow and Thursday night's matchups against the Guardians. Be here for it. Get your tickets at Cubs.com/tickets. Coming up, the latest on Miguel Amaya. That's next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday afternoons with Spiegel and Holmes, 2 to 6 on The Score.
There's nothing better than watching the game live. And with Xfinity Sports and News TV, you can stream over 50 live channels for $150 less than YouTube TV per year. From game time to prime time. It's the local channels you love, the news channels you need, and the sports channels you can't live without. History-making moments aren't going to wait for you, and replays never do it justice. So get Xfinity Sports and News TV today for all the live action you could want. Plus, you can save even more with Peacock Premium. A $7.99 a month value included at no extra cost. Xfinity Sports and News TV. The live TV you love with savings you'll love even more. To learn more, go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Savings compares Xfinity Sports and News TV at $70 per month to YouTube TV at $82.99 per month.
Hey folks, Coom here. Since teaming up with the fine folks at Yuengling Beer, I've heard this question a lot. Ron, how has Yuengling managed to be around for 196 years? Well, it comes down to one thing. They brew great beer. Simple as that. It takes real quality to become the oldest brewery in America, and Yuengling's been doing it right since 1829. Whether it's traditional lager, light lager, Flight by Yuengling, they all have the same commitment to flavor and craftsmanship. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. Official beer of the Cubs Radio Network, DG Yuengling & Sons, Pottsville, PA.
Make smooth cuts with the Bosch Schmider saw. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Cubs baseball is on The Score.
Swinging a drive. Back toward the wall. That ball is gone. 3-run homer, Pete Crow Armstrong. Kyle drives one in the air to right field. Down the line. If it's fair, it's going to leave the yard. That ball is gone.
With the free Odyssey app, you can stream the Cubs all season long, no matter where you are in Chicagoland.
throw out a restaurant, kitchen term to you, and then hit me with a baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of, to punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Old Black Labrador from Lombard. If our team strikes out 9 players, Tito's will make a $100 donation to Anti-Cruelty Chicago. Cubs Guardians at Wrigley Field. This is the Cubs Radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. In our Cubs conversation, Michael Busch and company trying to get the offense clicking again after going 13-13 in June.
Yeah, just keep having good at-bats. I think we know what we're capable of, and just keep continuing to grind out at-bats. I don't think there's anything that is anything alarming. Just kind of keep going out there, keep doing our thing, keep trusting our work, and let it play how it goes on the field.
One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is because you're so even keel. You can never tell if things are going good or bad. And Craig Counsell has talked about how it's kind of like a model for everybody else, even the veterans. Who taught you to be that way?
Sometimes it doesn't seem like that within myself, but I think it's one of those things that I've always tried to set that foundation for me. And I think just having my family and my faith in my life has just been a key part of just trying to keep me even keeled, even that sometimes riding the wave or getting too high, getting too low, trying to battle that. I think family and my faith have been key factors in helping me get better at that.
You said sometimes it doesn't feel that way, so on the inside, are you riding the roller coaster a little bit?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I want to get out there. I want to perform. I want to help the team. I think the thing that helps me is just I love winning. I really do. I love the aspect of being here and helping this team win. And I think that just masks a lot of things for me. It's just even if I didn't have that great of a day, if I'm struggling, if we're winning, I'm okay with that. As long as we're winning and doing our thing. I'm going to do the best I can, try and do whatever I can to help. But if we're winning, that's really the only thing that matters to me.
Mentality-wise, and I'm not talking about the winning, were you always this way, even when you were younger?
I would think maybe a little bit, but I've definitely had my moments, and I've definitely have learned and just had such great role models in my life, from my parents to my siblings, to teammates, just people that I think I've admired, of just the constant battle of just showing up to work no matter what, and grinding away and getting in the weight room, putting in some work, and just trusting that aspect of things, and then just enjoying being here, being grateful for being able to do this job, and just continue to grow and continue to develop, and hopefully things pay off.
Do your teammates mention it? Because not everyone is like you.
Yeah, I don't know if they mention it. Like I said, it's one of those things I think I pride myself in. But you got I got guys around me who I feel like do a much better job than I do of that. Guys who have just been around doing it for so long. I think there's a reason that they're able to, withstand, some of the low points of, as a hitter, you struggle, and you're gonna struggle at some point, no matter what level, no matter who you are. Just being able to bounce back from that so quickly is important. And I think there's a lot of guys here who have, been playing for a long time that they do it really well, and there's a reason they have a lot of success in this league.
That's the reason I think the team has been collectively what it's been. Michael, thank you so much. Really appreciate the time.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Michael Busch batting 6th today, playing first base. He's batting .273 this year with 14 home runs and 49 runs batted in. The 50-50 raffle is featuring a new mega jackpot. Fans in Illinois can purchase tickets at Cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador here at Wrigley Field through the 8th inning of each game now through the All-Star break. Coming up, the Manager Show next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Every strikeout and home run is heard right here on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Join Great Lakes Credit Union's mission of banking for a greater good. As a nonprofit financial institution, Great Lakes Credit Union invests in local communities while offering the services of big banks. Learn more at glcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
News just in. Bet365 is now live in Illinois.
That's right. Join Bet365 today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose.
That's amazing.
That's for sure. With Bet365, you can bet on the spread, totals, and money line.
Well, there you have it, Illinois. Download the Bet365 app and get your $150 in bonus bets today.
And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Illinois. Jesus apply in app only.
Roofing and waterproofing provides a rewarding career. Every job is a new challenge that requires advanced skills training. Provided by the Chicago Roofers Joint Apprenticeship and Training Program. Earn while you learn the trade of roofing and waterproofing. Great pay, annual raises, and union benefits. Apply today at chicago-roofers.org.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Surround yourself in color with Regal Select from Benjamin Moore. Rich, durable, and effortlessly beautiful. Find yours at your locally owned retailer. Visit benjaminmoore.com today.
Cubs Guardians at Wrigley Field. Time now to hear from Cubs manager Craig Counsell, sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. Now, not counting one rainout in June, Counsell's Cubs just finished a stretch of 25 games in 26 days.
You know, we're through it, and we're through it in a healthy way, actually. So, you know, I don't think it affected us that much, other than it's just a difficult stretch of baseball, and it's you're tired. So I think the off day yesterday was one that I know guys were, of any off day we've had this year, was the one they needed the most. I guess put it that way. So, you know, I think we had a tired team, and they should have been tired. It was 26 games in 27 days. A lot of baseball, a lot of hot weather. So yesterday was just a great off day, and I think now you look at the schedule and it normalizes a little bit. The All-Star break's in sight, and we're ready for basically 12 hard games and good games until the All-Star break.
You had a close-up look at Matthew Boyd last year in Cleveland, and he was very effective against the Cubs. What did you see in him that made him so appealing to you guys in the offseason?
I think, you know, the signing of Boyd was really just a bet on, like, is he going to stay healthy? I mean, he's had injury problems, unfortunately, for the last really 5 years of his career. You know, when you sign starting pitching, you know, it's innings. You know, you want obviously quality, but innings is also very, very important. And that's what he's done so well this year so far, is deliver innings. And then you put the quality has never been an issue with Matthew Boyd. When he's been on the mound, he's been a good starting pitcher. So it was really, can he stay healthy? And we thought kind of he was coming into this window where he really should be healthy. Some of the stuff was kind of out of his control, but he had it's a serious arm injury that set him out, you know, kind of a year and a half.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit. where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how Mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started to cook with her, so we decided, to do the business, so we went and figure out what we're going to call it. So we said, let's cook in honor of our mother. So that's what Legacy came in. And just remember that Legacy Catering is about people. And this is what barbecuing is all about. And this is why we love it.
It before him off base. You can choose to pitch around somebody if there's not people on base when this guy comes on. If they've got multiple runners on base, that gets pretty tough. So keeping the 1-2 hitters off base, I think, is a big part of this series, and so that we can limit any impact that Ramirez can have on the series.
Counts, good luck. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Zach.
That's Cubs manager Craig Counsell. When we come back, the baseball board next on The Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday afternoons with the Spiegel and Holmes Show, 2 to 6 on The Score.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
If you're looking for the opportunity to succeed, the Village of New Lenox offers extraordinary schools, healthcare, and a growing community with a wonderful quality of life. Join the 100-plus businesses that have opened in New Lenox in the last 2 years. And they have more room to grow, whether retail, office, commercial, healthcare, or hospitality. New Lenox is located at the crossroads of I-355, I-80, I-55, and I-57, making it easy to get to, and a place you won't want to leave. New Lenox, nothing short of extraordinary.
As he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ben Jones performing the national anthem at Wrigley Field tonight. The national anthem sponsored by Patriot Pavement Maintenance, simplifying pavement maintenance for industrial, commercial, and educational clients. As we approach the top of the hour, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk in the morning on the Mully and Haw Show, 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Cubs hosting Cleveland. Who are you banking on? Is sponsored by Busey Bank. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. I'm banking on Michael Busch, who's batting .300 over his last 15 games with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. The pitching matchup sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Left-hander Matthew Boyd going for the Cubs. 7-3 with a 2.65 ERA. He's coming off a victory in St. Louis last Wednesday. 6 scoreless innings, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. Gavin Williams, a right-hander, on the mound for Cleveland, 5-3 this season with a 3.68 ERA. Last week against Toronto, he gave up 4 runs on 5 hits in 5 1/3, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Around Baseball, sponsored by Great Clips. It's going to be great. One final on the board, the Blue Jays with a 12-5 drubbing of the Yankees. Andres Jimenez with a 3-run home run for the Blue Jays. Brewers and Mets rained out in New York. Same deal with the Tigers and Nationals in Washington and the Padres.
I'm going to go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some
crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
Well, this is the World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so that she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
Network. He drives one in the air, deep left center. Back goes Cruz. It's got a chance. Gone. Home run, Dansby Swanson. High fly ball, deep right field. This ball's got a chance. It is gone for a home run. And if you live in the Chicago area, also on the free Odyssey app.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
And now, Odyssey and 670 The Score bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Ian Happ.
Base hit into right. Cubs win the ball game. Ian Happ, a game-winning single.
Hey, it's Nico Horner.
Diving backhand stop by Horner, throws to first to get it. Sensational play.
Hey, it's Kyle Tucker.
Kyle drives one in the air to right field. That ball is gone. It's a 3-run homer. This is what you came here for. Cubs game on the score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by Benny's Beverage Depot, Nissan, Benjamin Moore, Hefty Trash Bags, Latourell Tire, James Hardy Building Products, Sea Glass Wine, Volvo, Sloan, Xfinity, It's Not a Game, Illinois.com, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And now here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes, and All-Star Ron Kumar with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Cubs start the final homestand before the All-Star break tonight The Cubs begin a 3-game set against the Cleveland Guardians, two teams forever linked by the 2016 World Series. Hi, everyone. Alongside former All-Star Ron Coomer, I'm Zach Zaidman in for Pat tonight. It is a gorgeous early evening here at Wrigley Field. Temperature in the upper 70s. Just a zephyr of a breeze blowing from right to left. Plenty of sunshine still remaining. Beautiful green grass, beautiful green ivy as the Cubs get set to play the Guardians after going 3-4 on their 7-game road trip. But an off day yesterday.
Sometimes artifacts in the collection at the Hall of Fame could tell multiple stories. This is the earliest known Yankees baseball cap in existence. It tells a story of a very early baseball cap and of a guy who just had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. But there's actually a hidden story inside this cap. There's another name written in the cap. So who's Dolan?
Swing with the Circa Sports app. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. That's circasports.com.
Dear summer, ready to get your adrenaline pumping? Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Toyota, let's go places.
It's game time. Time to crack open a Yuengling. After 196 years, the wait is over. Yuengling is finally available here in Illinois. Look for it at your favorite bar or store. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. And Z, whenever we think about this series, it's one of those things, you know, Cubs, Cleveland, World Series, but different time now. And beautiful, beautiful night here at the Friendly Confines for a ball game.
It is great to be home. At the plate, Stephen Kwan, left-handed batter. The left-hander Matthew Boyd deals, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Top of the zone, going with the fastball. Just a beautiful night here at Wrigley Field, 80 degrees. The next pitch is looped into right field. This will drop in for a base hit. Tucker races over toward the line, quickly grabs it, fires a strike back into the infield to hold Kwan to a single.
A little breaking ball from Boyd. Good pitch, down and away. Kwan just goes out and kind of one-hands this ball. It's a little soft looper, just kind of 15 love. I think it's Wimbledon time, right? Yeah, 15 love, Kwan. Yep.
Yeah, the grass here at Wrigley just as beautiful as what you see at Wimbledon.
Yeah, it worked, you know. We'd have liked it to go on to Nico, but it didn't work out that way.
That's baseball, right? David Fry at the plate, right-handed batter. He's the designated hitter for the Guardians, just underway. The first pitch is up high from Boyd, 1-0. Boyd has been fantastic for the Cubs this season, 7-3 with a 2.65 ERA in 16 starts. His last one, a dominant effort in St. Louis last Wednesday. The pitch popped up, shallow right, drifting back, Horner. He's under it, calling everybody off and makes the catch. One away.
Good pitch by Boyd. And, you know, the one thing, there's going to be no surprises with Boyd pitching against his old ball club. He has been outstanding. A great fastball that he runs, that two-seamer. He runs across the zone away from the righties. He's got the good change, good breaking ball, but, he just really knows how to get big league hitters out. And these guys over on the other side of the field, Cleveland, they know him very, very well from his years with Cleveland.
The dangerous Jose Ramirez looks at a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Ramirez, a switch hitter, batting from the right side. He stands deep in the box from the right side. Upright stance, very little bend at the knees. 1-on-1 out for Cleveland here in the top half of the first inning. Boyd, a long set. He's got a great pickoff move. 3-0-2. As we mentioned, 80 degrees the temperature tonight. It's sunny at the moment. A light wind blowing from right to left at 6 miles per hour.
Yeah, I would think it's going to be a very good night to hit here at Wrigley. Wind not much of a factor, but when it was during batting practice, it was blowing out towards left.
A throw to first, diving back in safely, Kwan, who led off the game with a single to right. The Game Time Temperature Coom, sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, your trusted local experts. Horner, the second baseman, up the middle just to the right of the bag, meaning there's a big hole on the right side of the diamond. Boyd deals, and Ramirez looks at a ball outside, 1-2.
First inning is powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Vesco Distributors Incorporated.
Kwan extends his lead off the first base bag. He's got 11 steals this season. And now the pitch to Ramirez. A big swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Boyd zips a fastball by him, 2 away.
Good pitch by Boyd after some slow stuff. Change-up and breaking ball. Then he climbs the ladder with some gas at 96 miles an hour. That's about as good a fastball as we're going to see Boyd have. That two-seamer going across the zone. Punches out Ramirez. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Brought to you by Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealer.
So 2 away, Kwan at first. The batter, the cleanup man, Carlos Santana. And the pitch. Popped up. Foul territory behind home plate. Kelly giving chase, but this one's in the stands off to the right. 0-1.
Thought the wind might affect that one enough to bring it back into the field of play. Kelly just standing there at the wall waiting for it to come down, and it came down in the first row just on the other side of the net.
And as you say that, the wind's picked up just a little bit, blowing from right to left. Santana, an open stance, uses a slight toe tap, hits out of a crouch. Boyd deals. And this one is looped down the left field line. It drops in for a base hit, fielded on a high hop by Happ, who gets it to third. So stopping at second base, Kwan. And now the Guardians have a 2-out rally going here in the top of the first. Men at first and second, and Lane Thomas due up.
Yeah, a little slide step curveball, and for Boyd just left that ball up, and Santana hooks this ball. If he waited another snap of a finger, that ball might have ended up in the bleachers. Cubs catch a little bit of a break. Speed Gun tonight, powered by Xfinity. Get seriously powerful Wi-Fi. Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The former Cardinal, Lane Thomas at the plate. Right-handed batter, open stance, uses a toe tap. The pitch, foul back off the screen, 0-1. Did you say earlier that Boyd hit 96 on the gun with a fastball?
The strikeout against Ramirez had on the board 96.
Wow.
That's what I said. He's booming too.
See, it all comes together here on Cubs Radio.
There you go.
Cubs and Guardians scoreless, 2-on, 2-out for Cleveland here in the top of the first. Boyd a long set, and now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Thomas in the hole, 0-2. That was another fastball by Boyd.
That one, 93. We're used to seeing Boyd somewhere around that 93 mark. One at 96. You don't see those too often from him. You don't have to pitch at 96 to get people out in this league, that's for sure.
Boyd deals. Up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's an art to it, and Boyd has mastered the art. Got an opportunity to return to the big leagues last year with Cleveland, coming off all the elbow issues. Went 2-2 with a 2.72 ERA in 8 games with Cleveland. Many thought the Guardians would keep him. He ended up coming here. The pitch. That's low for a ball. Check swing by Thomas. But the Cubs did not appeal. 2-2 the count.
A little slider down and in. That one didn't miss by much.
Thomas struggling this season, hitting at 168, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Boyd gets Thomas to end the frame, and the Guardians leave 2. Middle 1, no score. Cubs and Guardians on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Kyle Tucker. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Come see what's cooking in Des Moines, Iowa.
We wanted to introduce something new. And then working in some of our past and what the past can look like in the future. I think our players absolutely love it, and our fans, we think they'll learn to love it, especially if you can win in it. You know, that kind of solves everything.
All right, I got a couple packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. Let's open them up and see who's in here. I love the bubble gum. Oh my. Tom Seaver, but with a White Sox uniform on. The franchise for the Mets. I played with him in 1983, my rookie season. I was just in awe with these guys when I saw them in spring training and got a chance to play with them. Baseball cards of memories.
D&W right now. Any accident at all, call D&W Law right now. Don't hesitate. Call the 8s, 312-888-8888.
The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Ian Happ gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Getting set for the last of the first here at Wrigley Field, the opener of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Guardians. Right-hander Gavin Williams on the hill for Cleveland. Coom, what should we know about this 25-year-old?
One thing about Williams, big arm, big fastball in the mid-90s. Slider, kind of a slurvy breaking ball, a curveball, a legitimate curveball also. Doesn't throw the changeup a lot, but a high walk rate. That's been the big issue. He's walked a lot of guys this season. One of the league leaders in walks all season long. And, you know, to me, between the hits and the walks, there's going to be a lot of traffic on the bases. The wind blowing out here at Wrigley, that's not necessarily always a good recipe.
Ian Happ looks at a curveball outside, 1-0 the count. Happ on the year hitting at .240. 12 home runs, 43 RBIs. He's been scuffling lately, hitting under 200 over his last 7. The pitch, and a high fly ball hit to deep left center field. Kwan going back at the track near the wall, has a play. A little leap and makes the catch with his back slamming against the ivy. 1 away.
Well, that's the way to hit it. You got to go towards that left center field wall. That's going to be where the ball's going to carry the most. Ian gets to this high fastball, but just doesn't quite get it into the basket. As Quan, as you said, he catches it probably a half a step in front of the ivy and left.
So 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Cubs and Guardians are scoreless. The batter, Kyle Tucker, hitting at .291 on the year, 17 home runs. The pitch, Tucker rips one right into the glove of the first baseman, Santana, behind the bag. Out number 1. Out number 2, I should say, excuse me.
Now Tuck goes out and gets this heater and hooks it, but hits it right at Santana. He didn't even have to move.
So 2 quickly away. That'll bring up Seiya Suzuki, the Cubs DH. He's hitting .258 this year with 22 home runs and 69 RBIs. Suzuki taking some extra time, kicking some dirt around in the box. It's probably to give Matthew Boyd a little bit of time to rest in the dugout after that long first inning. The pitch. Foul back by Suzuki, 0-1. And I'm only saying that because no Cub was in that batter's box prior to Suzuki.
Yeah.
Williams is 5-3 this season with a 3.68 ERA. The pitch. That's up high. 1-1 the count on Seiya. And you mentioned the walks. 45 walks for Williams.
How about that?
In a little more than 80 innings pitched this year. Here's the 1-1. Seiya taps it foul at the plate. 1-2.
So when you look at the walks and then you also look at the hits.
70.
Now all of a sudden you're looking at a lot of traffic on the bases. You're trying to pitch out of jams regularly. And you just got to throw more strikes than that.
Williams kicks and delivers. Seiya swings and misses. And a slider off the outside, strike 3. Cubs go down in order here in the first. After 1, Cubs and Guardians scoreless. On the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to
play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
Is where we like to enjoy having company, and the TimberTech decks have been incredible. The #1 premium composite decking brand. It looks like natural wood, but without all the costly maintenance that goes into it, you do not have to do that with TimberTech. Order free samples at timbertech.com.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Second inning is brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, official partner of the Cubs, bringing you California's coast to wherever you are. And that's something, bringing a coast here. But we got weather like that tonight. Gorgeous night here at Wrigley. No score after 1, Z.
I will join you for some Sea Glass Wines following today's contest. It's definitely a beautiful Tuesday night here at Wrigley. It feels like we're on the California coast. Temperature 80 degrees at first pitch. Not a cloud in the sky. Nolan Jones at the plate, left-handed batter to begin the second inning. Cubs and Guardians are scoreless. Matthew Boyd deals, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. A slider that spins into the zone, 0-1.
Jones jumped out there like he was looking dead red fastball and got the breaking ball.
A bouncing ball foul off to the right. That hits something along the camera well, and we might have to get Paul Zarang a new microphone.
Hopefully it wasn't someone's glove, because that was loud.
Yeah, shades of my Little League career. 0-2 the count on Jones. Boyd works on the third base side of the rubber. He steps back, kicks, and fires. Low. 1-2. Cubs wearing their traditional home white uniforms with the blue pinstripes. The iconic Cubs logo on the front left part of the jersey. Blue numerals and lettering on the back. Blue socks. Sleeves, caps with a red C on the front. Here's the pitch. Just outside. 2-2 now on Jones. Boyd wearing mostly white cleats with a hint of blue. The Guardians wearing their alternate navy blue jerseys. Red numerals and lettering outlined in white. Gray pants, navy blue helmets. Here's the pitch. Called, strike 3. Boyd freezes Jones with a sinking fastball. 1 away.
Now this pitch, absolutely, two-seamer, splits the plate in half right at the knees. Jones didn't even offer at it. It's right at the bottom of the zone for strike 3. Nice pitch by Boyd.
So that's Boyd's third strikeout of the game. 1 away, top 2. Cubs and Guardians are scoreless. The second baseman, Angel Martinez, at the plate. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Pitch is high and outside for ball one. The corner infielders were crashing for the Cubs. Now they drop back. Bush wide of third. Behind the bag at third, Shaw. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A changeup that had Martinez fooled. 1-1. Martinez wearing neon green shoes. You can see that all the way up on the moon. And the pitch. That's a strike.
I would like to ask some of the guys in the league. Now, the Cubs really don't have anybody that wears shoes that totally aren't part of the Cubs color. You know, I think we've seen some guys wear red shoes. Pete Armstrong wore some red.
This is looped into center field for a base hit. So Martinez, big turn at first. Crow Armstrong quickly gets it back into the infield. A one-out single for Martinez here in the second.
You know, but we're talking about the shoes, a little change-up. Martinez goes out and hooks this ball back to the middle. But, you know, Cubs colors, they got red in their uniform, absolutely. And the part I don't get is when the guys wear the lime green, and Cleveland has no green in their color.
No.
They're red, white, and blue like the Cubs. Navy blue, red, white.
Bo Naylor at the plate. He swings and pops it up. Along the line, shallow left, now drifting into foul territory. It's Shaw who makes the catch. 2 away.
Good pitch by Boyd. He gets a little pop-up. Naylor kind of runs out of bat with this fastball away. So good pitch.
So 2 away here in the top of the second. A man at first in Angel Martinez, and the batter, the number 9 hitter, Brian Rocchio. The shortstop, hitting from the right side against the left-hander Boyd. You know, we failed to take into account maybe the neon green shoes are simply comfortable.
They can't make comfortable shoes in white or blue or red.
The pitch is in there for a strike fastball. Knee-high from Boyd, 0-1. And some people just want to stand out.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's obvious. Yep, that is definitely the case.
Boyd a long set, and the pitch. Rocchio fouls it back off the screen. The uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. So 0-2 on Rocchio as Martinez extends his lead off the first base bag. 2 away here in the second. And now the pitch. A ground ball hit to short. Charging, Swanson, fields, the underhand flip to second. That's where Nico is for the forced out number 3. And that ends the top half of the second inning. Middle 2, no score. Cubs in Cleveland on the Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of...
Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha. And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bach beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town. Dude. Oh, best hot dog I've ever had. Best hot dog I've ever had. I love this, man.
This is how I grew up eating hot dogs.
Here we go. This is a classic road jersey for Boston. This is the first uniform I put on when I came with Boston. When you see those 2 socks together, that's one thing I know I had to do. I had to make sure I had my red socks high, okay? My 2 red socks, because, you know, there's 2 here.
.com.
This Thursday, July 3rd, Cubs celebrate 100th anniversary of Cubs radio broadcast. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans received a Cubs Bluetooth speaker presented by Marriott Bonvoy. And we are going to have something special also, because the three of us, along with Paul Zerang, are going to be involved in a little pregame celebration. There might be a little first pitch thrown out, but it's going to be kind of cool. And 100 years, I was talking to some friends earlier today over lunch, 100 years of radio broadcast for the Chicago Cubs. How cool is that?
It's remarkable. Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate to begin the bottom of the second inning. He lines the first pitch he sees in the left center field for a base hit. So PCA, the leadoff man, getting on base here in the second. It'll bring up Dansby Swanson. That's a good sign when Crow Armstrong goes the other way.
Little backdoor breaking ball, and he shoots it to left. And now you get Pete on first base, so you know he is going to be looking to try to take second base.
Cubs and Guardians are scoreless here in the last of the second. The opener of a three-game set. Santana holding on, Crow Armstrong at first. The pitch to Swanson. Ground ball, base hit in the right field. Big turn at second. PCA goes to third. The throw goes to second base. And the Cubs in business. Men at the corners, no one out. Back-to-back singles by PCA. And now Dansby.
Now Dansby gets his pitch away. Right-handers have been wearing out Williams. Lefties have struggled. But he gets this little slider away, and he does not try to pull it. This is designed for him to shoot it the other way. He puts a great swing on this ball, and Cubs at first and third now, nobody out here in the second. And the infield now in early for Cleveland.
With Michael Busch at the plate. 14 home runs this season. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Gavin Williams. A long set and the pitch. Busch looks at a ball low. A slider that missed. 1-0 the count. The defensive alignment sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. Infield in for Cleveland. The 1-0. Busch taps it foul off to the right. 1 strike, just getting a piece of a slider.
I'm trying to pitch Bushy to where he would hook this ground ball either at second baseman or first baseman. Santana holding the runner on at first, Swanson.
Crow Armstrong at third. 1-1 the count on Busch. Williams works his motion. Swanson goes line drive, base hit to left. Cubs strike first as Crow Armstrong scores. 1-0 Cubs over Cleveland here in the second on the RBI single the other way by Michael Busch.
3 straight hits for the Cubs here in the second inning. All 3 opposite field shots. This looks like a little slider. Dansby on the go. Cubs play a little hit and run, and Bushy finds the hole on the left side and smokes one in the left field for a base hit.
RBI number 50 on the year for Busch. Still no one out. Men at first and second. Cubs up 1-0. Carson Kelly at the plate. And he looks at a strike from Williams. 0-1. A breaking ball that floated into the zone. RBIs by Cubs batters are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. Kelly waits for the 0-1 delivery. Williams looks at second and deals. Low and outside. 1 strike. Kelly hitting at .259. He's got 9 home runs, 26 RBIs. Right-handed batter hits out of a crouch. The right-hander Williams works his motion. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Big swing by Carson Kelly. He got a breaking ball in the middle of the plate. It was down right at the knees, but a big swing. If he hits that one, that ball goes a long way.
Very little wind tonight here at the friendly confines. What we do have is moving from right to left at the moment. Williams works on the third base side of the rubber. Sets up high. Looks at second and delivers the pitch. Line drive, base hit in the left center field. Swanson around third. He's coming home. On his way to third base is Busch. He's being waved in. Here comes the throw. It sails over the catcher. Bounces off the backstop. Busch scores and sliding into third after the throw home. Kelly Cubs tack on 2 more. It's 3-0 Cubs over the Guardians here in the second, excuse me.
Well, the one thing that the Indians do, they play an odd defensive alignment in left. Quandt plays way over to the pull side, and this ball, just a line drive in the gap, goes all the way to the wall. Quandt throws this ball in, misses the first cutoff man, the shortstop. It goes to Martinez, the second baseman, who is the trailer in the cutoff. And I don't think he was expecting to have to throw that ball home. And it caught him by surprise. He turns around and uncorks the throw. And it hits the back bricks behind home plate. And because of that, Bushy's able to go all the way. He scores easily. And Kelly is able to go all the way to third because of the error on Martinez.
So give Kelly a 2-run double, and the error by Martinez helps him move to third base, like Kuhn mentioned. 3-0 Cubs here in the second inning. And still no one out. Nico Horner will stand in. What a start.
Cubs did nothing in the first inning. Williams looked like he was under control, and now Cubs got 4 straight hits.
Infield remains in for Cleveland. The pitch to Horner is low and outside. A curveball that missed 1-0. Kelly at third, no one out. 1-0 the count with Nico at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Williams kicks and fires. And that one gets past the catcher. Coming home, Kelly, the throw to the pitcher, covering, and Kelly is nailed at the plate. Tag applied by Williams. 1 away.
Well, I know Kelly did not get a good jump off third base. This pitch is not in the dirt. It's a pitch that just crosses up the catcher, hits him in the thumb, and the ball goes to the backstop, but it hits the bricks and goes right back to the catcher, Naylor. He flips it to the pitcher, Williams, and Kelly's out by 3 feet.
So 1 away, Nico Horner at the plate with a 2-0 count. Cubs up 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Williams delivers. And Nico looks at a strike. 2-1. It's a cutter from Williams. Infield now back for Cleveland. The pitch. High and outside, 3-1. Matt Shaw on deck. Nico had a very productive road trip. Hit his first 3 home runs of the season on the trip. Horner calls time, steps out of the box, adjusts the batting gloves, taps home plate, and digs in. Compact stance from the right side. Here's the pitch. That's low and outside, ball 4. So Nico draws the walk with 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. He'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Matt Shaw.
Now, we talked about Williams and the walk issues. His first walk that he's issued so far. He's been trying to throw the ball over the plate. Obviously, the Cubs, he's been throwing some balls in the middle, and the Cubs banging the ball around the yard here in this second inning.
Nico always a threat to go. The pitch to Shaw is inside. Fastball that missed, 1-0. Walks of Cubs batters, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. Now the 1-0. That's outside, snap throw to first, diving back in safely. Horner ahead of the tag by the first baseman Santana. 2-0 the count.
All reviews in this game, they're sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Second opinion's always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
They should set the defense for Cleveland. Carlos Santana at first, Angel Martinez at second, Brian Rocchio at short, the third baseman Jose Ramirez. As Shaw waits for the 2-0 delivery. Here it comes outside, 3-0 now. As Williams continues to fight himself on the mound. From left to right for Cleveland, Stephen Kwan, Lane Thomas, Nolan Jones, and the catcher is Bo Naylor. 3-0 Cubs with 1 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Throw to first, and Nico is picked off. Tag applied by Santana. We got Nico leaning the wrong way. 2 down.
Nico hopped off the bag. He got out there, and if you're going to do that, you might as well just keep going, because if they throw over, they got you. That's exactly what happened. They throw over, and they got Nico easily at first base.
So 2 away, Shaw at the plate. Well, a 3-0 count, the pitch. That's outside, ball 4. So Shaw draws a 2-out walk here in the second, and Ian Happ will hit for the second time tonight.
Kind of an odd, Cubs have scored 3 runs in this inning. They got 4 hits in the inning and 2 walks. They have not hit a ball and made an out yet, but there's 2 outs. They've made 2 outs on the bases here in this inning, but they've still scored 3.
Happ switch hitter batting from the left side. The pitch low, 1-0 the count. Yeah, Kelly tried to score from third on a pitch that bounced off the glove of the catcher Naylor. He was able to retrieve and fire a strike to Williams covering the plate. And they got Kelly on the plate for the first out. The 1-0 is in there for strike. Fastball, knee high, 1-1 on Happ. And then moments ago, Horner picked off of first base. Shaw is there now. Big lead off the bag. A 1-1 delivery. Outside. 2-1 now on Happ. Williams takes a peek at first. That's where Shaw is. Now he sets up high. A throw to first. And Shaw is picked off. Tag applied by Santana. Craig Counsell saying, hold on here. Wants to ask his replay man, Alex Smith, if the Cubs should challenge this play. And the Cubs will not challenge. That is out number 3 as Shaw is picked off. Cubs make 3 outs on the bases, but also score 3 runs. After 2, it's a 3-0 lead over the Guardians. On the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Matthew Boyd. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Join Great Lakes Credit Union's mission.
Tip of the cap, and now here we go. He gets Larry Walker, and here he is. He's going to face him right-handed. Why not? He looks like a catcher hitting. And now he's back to the left side, and a 2-out walk. So Walker reaches base after that first pitch that was like the flyby here right after the anthem.
Getting set for the top half of the 3rd inning here at Wrigley Field. Game 1 of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Guardians. Cubs with a 3-0 lead. Cubs scoring all of their runs in the 2nd inning. Michael Busch with an RBI single. Carson Kelly with a 2-run double. So Matthew Boyd has the lead as he takes the hill for inning number 3. Stephen Kwan, the leadoff man for Cleveland at the plate. Left-handed batter, and the pitch shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike, a slow-moving breaking ball that spun into the zone, 0-1. Kwan looped a single to right to begin the ball game. The 0-1 delivery is just high and outside. 1-1 the count. Shaw playing third. He's wide of the bag. Right on the edge of the infield grass. The next pitch. Chopped up the middle, fielded by Horner with a backhand. Rifles a throw to first in time to get the speedy Kwan. One away.
Nice play by Nico at second. He plays this second hop perfectly. If you crash at this ball, you're going to get an in-between hop. He takes the longer hop, but he's got his right foot already planted. So he catches this ball, the right foot planted, and now he's able to just come across and make a good, strong throw to get Kwan.
David Fry hitting the pitch. He's in there for a strike. Changeup, 0-1. Fry popped out to Nico in his first at-bat in the first. 0-1. Upright stance from the right side. The lefty Boyd deals, and this is line to left center field. Racing over Pete Crow-Armstrong, and he makes a running catch just short of the track and races over all the way to the bullpen doors. Taps them before throwing the ball back to the infield, 2 away.
When Fry hits this ball, I guarantee you he's thinking double all the way. And then you look up and you go, beep, beep, there he is. Sorry, right turn. He can go get him, boy, in center field. Great jump on the ball by Pete Crow-Armstrong.
So here's Jose Ramirez. He struck out swinging his first time up. Boyd delivers. Up high. 1-0 the count, a changeup that missed.
And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Boyd rocks back and deals. Ramirez pops it up, shallow left center field. Happ and Crow-Armstrong converge. It's the left fielder Happ who makes the catch for out number 3. Guardians go down in order here in the top of the third. Middle 3, Cubs up 3-0 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Kate Horton.
For the Cubs, Shoes on Deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Getting set for the bottom of the third here at Wrigley Field. Game 1 of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Guardians. Cubs with a 3-0 lead over Cleveland. Happ was at the plate in the last of the second when Matt Shaw was picked off of first base. The third out that the Cubs made on the bases in that second inning. A weird second inning, but that's where the Cubs took the lead. And also scored all 3 of their runs in the frame.
Yeah, Cubs had 4 hits in a row, 3 singles, and then a bases clearing double to drive in 2 from Kelly, and then everybody got either picked off or thrown out on the bases.
Happ looks at a strike on the outside corner, bottom of the zone, a cutter from right-hander Gavin Williams, 0-1. You've got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking as Happ looks at a ball low, 1-1 the count.
39,700.
39,700. Someone came to play this homestand.
No, not really. I just looked and you said it out. Okay, there we go.
Here comes the 1-1 by Williams. Happ grounds it softly up the first base line, fielded behind the bag by Santana. He jogs over, steps on the cushion. 1 away as Happ is retired here in the last of the third. Cubs up 3-0. I'm going to go 39,200. And we'll get the guess of our engineer. We call him the maestro because he's the best in the business, Paul Zarang. I'm guessing he's going to go 38,922. I'll double check after this pitch to Kyle Tucker. Williams deals. Tucker looks at a ball outside, 1-0. And Paul nods his head approvingly. Yeah, so his guess is 38,922.
And what is yours, Z?
And mine is 39,200. I think we're all right in the range. The 1-0 Tucker whacks it foul off the mask of the catcher, Naylor.
Well, what did the ticket office tell you earlier?
No, there's too much at stake in terms of the prize.
Yeah, the prize money is just massive. Yeah, that's what it is.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Tucker lined out to first his first time up. 1-1 the count. And now the pitch. Tucker takes the ball low and inside. It's 2-1. Tucker red hot really all year long, but especially coming into play today, hitting .345 over his last 7 games. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. That was a cutter from Williams. 2-2.
Yeah, 93 miles an hour at the top of the zone.
Williams delivers. The ground ball hit on the right side, backhanded by Santana. Wide of the bag, underhand toss to Williams, covering first in time. 2 away.
Nice play by Santana. When he first broke into the league, he was a catcher. Then he DH'd some, and Terry Francona moved him over to first base, and he has turned himself into an excellent first baseman over the years, and very productive hitter, and he's one of those guys. He's a winning player, and has been for a long time.
One of the big leaders in that Cleveland clubhouse. 2 down, bottom 3. Cubs with a 3-0 lead over the Guardians. The batter, Seiya Suzuki, struck out swinging his first time up. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch is low. 1-0 the count. Sunny, 76 degrees, a light wind blowing from right to left here in the last of the third. The pitch clips the outside portion of the plate for a strike. Another cutter by Williams, 1-1. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports Illinois. Bet like the pros and download the Circa Sports app today. Here comes the 1-1. That's low and outside. A curve that missed, 2-1. Pete Crow Armstrong on deck. Williams facing home plate now. He whirls and deals. Fouled out of play off to the right by Suzuki. 2-2.
Keep throwing him that cutter away. Suzuki, if you make a mistake with that cutter and you leave it on the plate, those last couple have been on the outside corner. If you leave one middle out, just outer half, he can blast it.
Suzuki lines one to right, ranging over toward the line, and making a running catch is Jones for out number 3. But he did go the other way there. Cubs go down in order in the bottom of the third. We head to the fourth. Cubs 3, Guardians nothing. On the score.
I'm gonna go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich.
Philly
cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some
crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
The out-of-town scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. In progress, top of the 8th inning. They're still scoreless in Pittsburgh. Cardinals and Pirates. Paul Skeens, 5 scoreless innings in that game for Pittsburgh. Top of the 7th, the A's leading the Rays 3-2. Max Muncy, a 2-run home run. They're delayed in the top of the 4th at Fenway. Red Sox on top of the Reds 2-1, but it's raining in Boston. Here at Wrigley Field, we're in the top half of the 4th inning. Cubs 3, Guardians nothing. The cleanup man, Carlos Santana, at the plate. He rips one down the left field line. It drops in and bounces off the ivy. Santana racing to second base as Happ gets the ball in, and a leadoff double for Santana to begin the 4th for Cleveland, his second hit of the ball game. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Lane Thomas. In the top half of the 6th inning, the Angels and Braves are scoreless. Bottom 3, no score between the Orioles and Rangers in Texas. Rockies strike first. They've got a 1-0 lead over the Astros in the bottom of the 1st inning. A couple of finals on the board. The Blue Jays, a 12-5 drubbing of the Yankees on this Canada Day. It was a day game in Toronto. Andres Jimenez hit a 3-run home run. So Thomas at the plate, the left-hander Matthew Boyd on the mound. Santana at second base, no one out here in the 4th. The pitch, a breaking ball that floats into the zone for a strike. 0-1 the count. Marlins shut out the Twins 2-0 as Edward Cabrera picks up his 3rd win of the year. 3 postponements today, including the Brewers and Mets in New York. The 0-1. Thomas fouls it back off the screen in the hole. 0-2. Tigers and Nationals rained out in Washington. Same deal with the Padres and Phillies in Philadelphia. Here at Wrigley, Cubs with a 3-0 lead over Cleveland. Boyd looks at second. That's where Santana is. The 0-2 is low and outside. Slider that missed. So the count is 1-2 on Thomas, who struck out swinging in the 1st. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Thomas has the feet spread wide apart at the plate. Right-handed batter, and the pitch. Just outside, 2-2.
Good little backdoor slider from Boyd, and that one just missed. That could have went either way.
I waited for Nick Lentz, the home plate umpire, but he never raised the arm. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boyd a long set, and now the pitch. Way outside, full count. Jacob Metz is the first base umpire. The crew chief, Vic Carapazza, at second. And Mark Ripperger, the umpire, at third. Santana at second. Now the payoff pitch. Breaking ball low to Thomas. That's ball 4. And now the Guardians have something cooking here in the top half of the 4th inning. Santana the double, Thomas the walk. It'll bring up Nolan Jones, a left-handed batter.
It looked like Boyd was really trying to do his very best to stay away from the inner half of the plate against Thomas, and just a couple of them just leaked off the plate. The backdoor hook, we said, could have been called a strike, but was not. It was borderline, very borderline. And the last pitch just not in the zone. So now what Boyd is looking for, hopefully, is a ground ball.
The pitch. Jones lines one into right center field for a base hit. Santana being waved around. He's coming home, and he will score. The Guardians on the board for the first time tonight. It's 3-1 Cubs here in the 4th. Advancing the 3rd on the RBI single is Thomas.
Hello, fastball inside to Jones, and he jumps right on his first pitch. He didn't miss it. He smokes this ball past Nico and back through the middle. Drives in the Indians first. There we go. I knew it was coming. The Guardians' first run of the game.
Should we have a kangaroo court and add to the Benny's Beverage Depot prize money?
I'm not paying for that. I never agreed with them calling themselves the Guardians.
I asked. Angel Martinez at the plate. Hitting from the right side against the lefty Boyd. He swings, and it's a high fly ball to right. Angling toward the line, Tucker. Tagging and coming home to score is Thomas. And it's now 3-2 Cubs over the Guardians here in the fourth. The throw went to second base. Jones stays at first. One away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Well, that's what you try to do. If you're going to try, your team is having trouble scoring runs. So what you're trying to do when you've got men in scoring position is do whatever you can do early in the at-bat so you don't get to that strikeout situation. And that's exactly what Martinez did by driving one to right field and driving in their second run.
Throw to first. They got Jones picked off. Tag applied by Bush. 2 away. Mentioned it earlier. Matthew Boyd has a great move, and it was on display there.
Well, he's got a unique move, that's for sure. He's got that slide step move, and then the throw is the unique part. He's able to throw from off his hip. And there have been 3 guys picked off already at first base. Two Cubs, Nico and Shaw, and now Jones. You may not go a month with seeing 3 guys picked off first. We got them in first 3 innings.
It's been a unique start to this game, to say the least. 3-2 Cubs over the Guardians with 2 away. As Bo Naylor takes a ball outside, 1-1. It's a fastball that missed. Boyd leads Major League Baseball with 7 pickoffs this season. Here comes the 1-1. Fouled away out of play. Second deck off to the left by Naylor.
Pretty good pitch right in on the hands of Naylor. Naylor struggling this year. He's got under 200 at-bats, 185 at-bats, but only hitting 168. But he does have 9 home runs.
He pulls one foul off the netting to the right. 1-2. He's the brother of Josh Naylor, his former teammate here in Cleveland, but he's now with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
That's a weird one. You have your brother on the team, and you're both playing every day or almost every day, and when he gets traded away.
The 1-2. Ground ball hit to third, fielded by Shaw. Couple of steps forward. His throw to first is in time to get Naylor. That is out number 3. But the Guardians put 2 on the board here in the top of the fourth. It's a 1-run game. Cubs 3, Cleveland 2 on the score in the Southwest.
To see all this excitement around what I love to do growing up, it's crazy.
What's your favorite thing about this whole event so far?
The fusion of sports, entertainment, and cards. Because to me, cards have always been entertainment, and they're getting their just dessert now.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
With the Cubs.
Getting set for the last of the fourth here at Wrigley Field. Cubs leading the Guardians 3-2. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago sports on the Rahimi and Harris Show. Middays 10 to 2 on WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat tonight. Paul Zarang, our engineer, helping us blast to the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. We welcome you to beautiful Wrigley Field for the opener of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Cleveland. Last of the fourth, Cubs 3, Guardians 2. The batter, Pete Crow Armstrong. Gavin Williams deals. And that pitch is low for ball 1. Curveball that missed. PCA singled and scored a run in the second. Left-handed batter hitting at .265 on the year. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. A blazing 97-mile-per-hour heater from Williams. League leaders are sponsored by American Sail. Bring the fun home. Aaron Judge leads the majors in batting average, hitting at .358. As Williams kicks and fires, Crow Armstrong looks at a strike on the outside corner. A backdoor breaking ball from the right-hander Williams, 1-2. Cal Raleigh leads the majors in home runs, hitting 33 so far this season. He's got 71 RBIs to lead the big leagues. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's going to go into the All-Star break, and his numbers are going to look like some guys when the season's over. It's amazing.
I mean, you know you're doing something special when this is stuff Johnny Bench never did in a first half of a season. The 2-2. A broken back ground ball hit to second, fielded by Martinez. His throw to first just in time to get a speedy PCA. 1 away.
Yeah, he's and he was here in Chicago. He hit 4 home runs against us in the series. And the thing that he knows what he's doing. I mean, the wind was blowing out hard in that series. He had a couple long home runs that are home runs in any ballpark. But what he did is he understood, I got to get the ball elevated, and he was able to do that. And, use the elements to his advantage and hit 4 bombs in the series against the Cubs.
Dansby Swanson looks at a slider low and outside, 1-0. Swanson singled and scored a run in the second. And the single went the other way toward right center, the 1-0 delivery. Clips the outside edge with a curveball, 1-1 the count. It's always a good sign when Swanson is going the other way. Williams faces home plate. Now he spins and delivers. Way outside, 2-1. Dansby hitting at .248 now on the year. He's got 14 home runs. Right-handed batter hits out of a crouch. The pitch. Off the outside with a cutter, 3-1.
Williams looks like he's just trying to stay away from some of the right-handed hitters. Did the same thing to Suzuki. Cutter after cutter away.
And the pitch. Bouncing ball hit to short. Charging and fielding Rocchio. Running through to first in time to get Swanson. 2 down.
And that's why you make the good pitch. It looks like it's in the middle of the plate. And a hitter goes to attack it. And then the ball just slides just across the zone. Just enough in the outer third of the strike zone, and you roll over that ground ball. Little 2-hopper right to the shortstop.
So here comes Michael Busch, who got the scoring started for the Cubs in the second with an RBI single the other way to left. Here's the pitch. Inside to Busch, backing him off the plate, 1-0. For Busch, it was RBI number 50. Cubs with a 3-2 lead over the Guardians with 2 away here in the last of the fourth. Fourth inning is sponsored by Wintrust, home of the exclusive Cubs debit card, as Busch swings and misses. And a cutter, 1-1. Member FDIC EHL lender. Now the 1-1. Way outside, 2 balls and a strike to count on Busch.
Mully and Haw talk Cubs baseball in Chicago sports every weekday morning from 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score in the Odyssey app. We'll be on with the boys this weekend, or going into the holiday weekend.
A 2-1 inside, so 3-1 now on Busch. Do you know what day?
I do not, because Friday is the holiday, so I am not sure if they're going to be working. And today's Tuesday, so I would assume I will hear from Dustin tomorrow, but always look forward to talking to those guys as Bushy takes fastball or cutter up and in for ball 4, so he'll walk with 2 outs. But, yeah, always fun. And as we get closer to the deadline, the conversations ramp up a little bit on what everybody's going to do. And, with the Cubs being in first place, this is That is a very good possibility of being a very special year here in the friendly confines.
2 away, a batter Carson Kelly. Bush at first, the pitch. That's a called strike. Front door slider that clipped the inside edge. 0-1. Walks of Cubs batters sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. Kelly had a 2-run double his first time up.
Well, the right center gap is huge. Quam plays way over towards the left field foul pole. I just have never seen a left fielder play that far to the pole side ever.
As Kelly looks at a ball low and outside, 1-1 the count. Now, why do you think that is?
I really don't have an answer. And, you know, I knew going into this series, he's always done this. And I just don't know why. But they love him to play way over by the foul line. And, you know, like that ball that was hitting the gap that he hit earlier, that should be a single. And it ended up being a double and driving in 2 runs because the gap left center is so big.
Kelly taps it foul at the plate, 1-2. Just getting a piece of a slider. They got the center fielder Thomas shading Kelly to pull toward left center.
And Jones is playing way around the other way. I mean, he's, you know, so the Thomas is out there kind of on an island on his own out there in the middle of the field.
A 1-2 in the dirt, blocked by Naylor. So staying at first, Bush, 2-2 the count on the batter, Carson Kelly.
Now, I know you mentioned the Wind Trust. Going into this inning, we had the Wind Trust people here today. So welcome to Wrigley Field. They are hanging out with our friends from the Score and enjoying. What a perfect night for them to come to the ball game. Very nice to have them here tonight.
Pitch misses up high, full count. Yeah, what a night to come to the ballpark. Lights are on, but still plenty of daylight at the moment here at Wrigley Field. Not a cloud in the sky. Comfortable 76 degrees. The runner goes, the pitch, ground ball up the middle, ranging to his left. It's off the glove of Rocchio, bounces into center field. Holding at third is Bush, and sliding safely into second base, Kelly. How about that?
Now this is going to be a double for Kelly. So this is a sliding attempt by Rocchio, the shortstop. Then he just sits there, he doesn't make the catch, and he kind of lays in the outfield grass. And then the pitcher, Williams, stands on the mound, and he doesn't go to cover second. And nobody's at second base. So Kelly rounds first. He just keeps going. And the Indians, or the Guardians, get caught kind of spectating a little bit, and Kelly takes an extra 90 feet.
Now Nico Horner at the plate with men at second and third and 2 away here in the fourth. Cubs up 3-2. Williams kicks and fires, and Horner looks at a strike. Curveball that's spun in the zone, 0-1. Nico walked in the second. Right-handed batter against the right-hander, Williams. And now the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on Horner. Chased a slider low. So Carson Kelly with 2 doubles tonight, 2 RBIs. He's at second base. Bush at third. 2 away here in the last of the fourth. Cubs 3, Guardians 2. Horner at the plate, 0-2 the count. As Williams works his motion. And the pitch is in the dirt. Caught on a hop by Naylor, 1-2.
One of the few curveballs that Williams has thrown to a right-handed hitter. Might be the first one.
Horner waits for the 1-2 delivery. A long set. And now the pitch. Nico check swing at a pitch off the outside on appeal. Strike 3, says Jacob Metz, the first base umpire. And that ends the fourth inning. Cubs leave 2 in scoring position. We head to inning number 5. Cubs on top of the Guardians, 3-2 on the.
What is it that kind of got you hooked
as a foodie, so to speak.
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
At your locally owned retailer. Visit benjaminmoore.com today.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat tonight. Top of the fifth inning here at Wrigley Field comes with a 3-2 lead over the Guardians. The opener of a 3-game set. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs scoring all of their runs in the second inning. Michael Busch, an RBI single. Carson Kelly, a 2-run double. 3-2 Cubs as Brian Rocchio leads off the fifth inning for Cleveland, the number 9 hitter. Matthew Boyd deals. Breaking ball that floats into the zone for a strike. 0-1. Rocchio grounded into a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1. Right-handed batter. The pitch. That foul up the plate. Rocchio in the hole, 0-2. Just got a piece of a curveball. Boyd, a one-time Guardian. Pitched for Cleveland last season. The pitch. High and outside, 1-2 on Rocchio. 8 games for Cleveland last year for Boyd. He went 2-2 with a 2.72 ERA. A 1-2 delivery. Rocchio swings and misses. Strike 3. As Boyd gets him with a fastball. 1 away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. So 1 down here in the fifth. Cubs 3, Guardians 2. It'll bring up Stephen Kwan, who's 1 for 2 on the day. A Cleveland left fielder, left-handed batter. The left-hander Boyd, high leg kick and pitch. Strike 1 call, the changeup.
High changeup there by Boyd. That's one of those where Quan, it's so high, even in the zone, you don't want to swing.
The next pitch is high and inside, a slider that missed, 1-1. So our good friend Rich Wyatt.
I do.
Big news today for Richie. The 1-1 ground ball foul off to the right. 1-2 the count on Quan. Rich Wyatt.
Go ahead, break the story. Here we go.
Occasionally, he brings the sounds of Wrigley Field to life on Cubs radio, helping them blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. He's not at the ballpark today. We found out why. As Boyd rocks back in, delivers the 1-2 to Quan. Fouled away. Just below us, out of play, 1-2 on Quan. He got engaged today.
I heard that.
To his girlfriend Jessica, now fiance.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. Very cool.
A 1-2 fouled off the netting to the left by Quan. So a very good job by Richie. Congratulations to both you and Jessica.
Good reason to miss. Now, he does all the Bulls games.
A number off the bat. Left side fielded by Shaw. His running throw in time to get Quan at first. 2 away.
But yeah, Richie subs in for Paulie whenever Paulie's big shotting with all the big rock and roll people traveling around the world, and then Richie jumps in. Yeah. But congratulations, guys! No, that's very cool. We got some pictures sent to us, so congrats.
It's been a busy offseason in the Bulls world, right? When you add in this little move today. David Fry at the plate. He pops one up, shallow left along the line, racing back the shortstop Swanson. He's got it and makes the catch in fair territory along the line for out number 3 as the Guardians go down in order here in the top of the 5th. Middle 5, Cubs 3.
Beer of the Cubs Radio Network, DG Yingling & Sons, Pottsville, PA.
This Saturday, July 5th, the Cubs in Windy City Smokeout celebrate country music. Fans who purchase through Cubs.com/specials will receive a special Cubs in Windy City Smokeout themed t-shirt and bandana. Getting set for the bottom of the 5th inning here at Wrigley. Cubs 3, Guardians 2. Matt Shaw, Ian Happ, and Kyle Tucker due up for the Cubs. And we mentioned at the start of the broadcast that you can't talk about the Cubs in Cleveland without mentioning 2016, but there's only one player on the field tonight who remembers what transpired in 2016. Jose Ramirez, the Guardians' third baseman. He's on his way to Cooperstown. Matt Shaw at the plate. Gavin Williams on the mound. Here's the pitch. A fly ball hit to deep right center field. Racing over Thomas. He slides and makes the catch. Off to the right of the 368 marker. Just short of the track. He covered a ton of ground one away.
Yeah, this is an excellent catch. This fastball right in the middle of the plate. Shaw smokes this ball in the gap, but Thomas playing him towards right center ends up covering a lot of ground and making a very nice sliding catch about a step in front of the warning track in right center.
So one away. Here's Ian Happ, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Williams delivers, and Happ looks at a strike, 0-1. Fastball clocked at 97 mph.
Your buddies are back.
Yeah, the pigeons are flying around our booth. Happ looks at a ball inside 1-1. You might recall last year, I ducked under the table.
Yeah.
I was looking at you. You were making a great point, and I always listen when you're talking baseball. Can you blame me? Here comes the 1-1. And Happ takes a strike.
And one of your feathery friends came by.
Well, I was looking at you, and all of a sudden, it was during the day. It was not a night game like it is now. And all of a sudden, I saw this shadow. You generally don't expect to see a shadow on the field side when you're in the booth. So I ducked.
And it was
pigeon.
Close. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Happ takes a ball just off the outside, a curve that missed, 2-2.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, generally pigeons don't fly into the booth.
No, they do not. It came close, though. It was a couple feet from us.
And a looper into shallow center. Coming in, Thomas, and he makes the catch, shoulder high for out number 2 as Happ's retired. Cubs with a 3-2 lead over the Guardians here in the 5th. Kyle Tucker will stand in.
Good breaking ball by Williams to Ian when he was ahead in the count. Spun a breaking ball, curveball, and that's his off-speed pitch to the lefties is more of the curveball. He'll cut one inside, try a little backdoor slider, but the curveball is the off-speed pitch, and he made a nice pitch to Ian right on a corner at the knees.
Tucker's 0 for 2 tonight. Righty-lefty matchup as Williams delivers. Tucker swings and taps it foul at the plate. 0-1. Tucker on the year hitting at .289, 17 home runs, 52 RBIs. And a lot going on in that last series in Houston. The 0-1 is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. But he's unlike most players in that I don't think anything impacts him or he allows anything to impact his ability on the field. So all the extra stuff, returning to play the Astros. Here's the 1-1. Tucker swings and pops it foul out of play off to the left, 1-2. It's a special skill to not allow those things to get in the way.
Yeah, he's a pretty laid-back guy, pretty quiet. Not, and nothing wrong with that. He had a great series in his homecoming.
Pitch in the dirt, 2-2.
Both him and Presley both.
Yeah.
Both threw the ball exceptionally well. Kyle, game 2 with a long one.
And 0 for 4 the first night. That's after they aired that tribute, a video that lasted about 4 minutes. And then he turned it on in game 2. Now the 2-2 delivery. Tucker check swing at a pitch low on appeal. No swing, says Mark Ripperger, the third base umpire. So it's a full count. Williams kicks and fires. Tucker pounds it on the ground, foul off to the right. Count remains 3-2. Thought the funniest thing was, for his first at-bat during the video tribute, gave him a standing ovation. A lot of the fans were wearing those crowns that they wore during Tucker's days, King Tuck in Houston. Then he hits the home run and they boo him around the bases. Here comes the 3-2. Tucker swings and it's a high fly ball. Deep center. Thomas going back. It's playable on the track. He makes the catch, angling toward left center for out number 3. A loud out from Tucker, but the Cubs go down in order here in the 5th. 3-2 Cubs over the Guardians after 5 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
To build this for them and spend the last year of coming up with this concept and getting it off the ground and getting everybody here, it just feels really good to have everybody coming and experiencing the thing that we've been working so hard on. To be able to take the experiences of Comic-Con and add that to a card show just is really fulfilling, because as somebody who grew up going to card shows and still goes to the same card show in the same church basement in Trumbull, Connecticut every month, it's great. Card shows are amazing, but to be able to add all of this experience is what makes this great.
Wrigley Field for 111 years. And now Sloan is excited to introduce new innovation to Cubs fans throughout the concourse with its brand new bottle fillers to provide clean drinking water while reducing plastic waste throughout the friendly confines. Learn more at Sloan.com and go Cubs go!
American Sail has the largest selection of pools, patio sets, hot tubs, and grills. And right now, during the summer celebration sale, you can save up to 50%. American Sail. Bring the fun home.
Getting set for the top half of the 6th inning here at Wrigley Field. Cubs 3, Guardians 2. Matthew Boyd still going. He continues to be a model of efficiency for the Cubs this season, coming off that shutout in St. Louis last Wednesday. he's got a 3-2 lead now over his former team, the Guardians, as we begin the 6th inning. Jose Ramirez at the plate. Switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty Boyd. Glove near the chin, high leg kick and pitch. Outside, ball 1.
Once again, he's given the Cubs a great chance to win a game. Huge effort against the Cardinals when they really needed it.
Here's the 1-0. Ramirez swings and pops it foul out of play off to the right.
And let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yingling. Next generation light beer. And Boyd, he has been very good. He gave up 2 runs in the 4th. A couple ground balls, a couple hits, but he is, once again, been very, very good.
Pitch up high to Ramirez, 2-1. I was talking with Craig Counsell before the game. As Boyd works his motion. Breaking ball pulled on the ground, fielded on a belt-high hop by Shaw behind the bag. His throw to first in time. Ramirez retired. 1 away. The first out is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Ramirez is 0 for 3 tonight. But you know how I like to ask Counts about the keys to the game every time we see him. And he didn't have to think too long tonight. He just said, just stop Jose Ramirez. You limit him, you have a chance to win. He praised Ramirez and his great ability. Batter Carlos Santana, first pitch off the outside, 1-0.
Yeah, Ramirez has been top 5 to top 10 in the MVP voting, it seems like, for 10 straight years. This guy can flat out play.
A 1-0 delivery. Santana taps it foul just off to the right, 1-1. I remember it was in the playoffs last year. Aaron Boone, the Yankees manager, was asked about Jose Ramirez, and for a long time, you'd hear people say he's the most underrated player in baseball. And Boone said, forget about that. Yeah. He's not underrated. Everyone knows how good this guy is.
Yeah, right. Everybody in the game knows, that's for sure. There's no doubt about that.
And the 1-1. Santana looks at a ball high and outside. 2-1 the count. Yeah, Ramirez still hitting at .306 despite going 0 for 3 tonight. Here comes the 2-1. Santana looks at a ball low. Slider that missed. It's 3-1. Santana is 2 for 2 this evening. A single and a double and a run scored. The pitch. Popped up. Shallow right, near the line. Bush racing over. Now coming in Tucker. It's Tucker's ball. He makes the catch. 2 away.
You saw Bushy going down the line, chasing this ball, and then that wind that's up above the stadium kind of blows that ball back towards right field more. And Tucker, who does a good job covering a lot of ground, comes in and makes that catch.
So here comes Lane Thomas. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. 2 down, top 6. Cubs 3, Guardians 2. This day in baseball history is brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. Now's the time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. The pitch. Thomas looks at a strike. 0-1. As Boyd starts him off with a slider. On this date, July 1st, 1990, Andy Hawkins of the Yankees. Pitch by Boyd, inside, 1-1 now on Thomas. So Andy Hawkins of the Yankees pitched a no-hitter and lost the game 4-0.
How about that?
Baseball.
That's hard to do.
A 1-1. Just off the inside, 2-1, a fastball that missed.
Boyd tried to paint this inside corner against Thomas twice and just missed inside.
Boyd rocks back and deals. Breaking ball swung on and missed. 2-2.
Probably the best changeup that Boyd's thrown tonight. After 2 fastballs inside just off the corner, throws a perfect changeup.
Let's see if Boyd can put him away. Thomas waits. Boyd deals the 2-2. This is pop foul out of play off to the left.
Boyd shook off Kelly twice. He wanted to go back to that fastball inside. He set on trying to get the feel for that heater in against Thomas and hit that inside corner. That's the 3rd fastball in on the hands of Thomas. See if he goes back to the changeup now. Let's see if he can get a punch out.
The 2-2. Ground ball pulled foul off to the left. And, yeah, he went with the breaking ball there.
Yeah, a little curveball that time.
Does he go back to the fastball here?
I would say he goes to the changeup. Changeup really had Thomas out front.
Now the 2-2. Just outside. He did go with the change. It's a full count.
Now it's a coin flip.
Is that fun as a hitter?
If I'm hitting, I'm guessing he's going to come inside with a fastball.
All right, let's see if you're right. Here comes the payoff pitch from Boyd. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the fastball. Good thinking, Coom. That's out number 3. Middle 6. Cubs with a 3-2 lead over the Guardians. On the score, the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs play here with Hall of Famer Pat Hughes and All-Star Ron Coomer on the Cubs Radio.
Your teammates know you to be a Lone Ranger on the field, Capricorn, preferring to fly solo when you practice your craft. But keeping yourself closed off from collaboration robs you of the improvement that comes from teaming up. Reach out to a trusted teammate to be on the receiving end of your curveballs, and you'll both find an acceleration in your skills.
Suzuki is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Wrigley. Game 1 of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Guardians. The Cubs with a 3-2 lead over Cleveland. Cubs scoring all of their runs in the 2nd inning. Michael Busch with a ribby single. Carson Kelly with a 2-run double. The Guardians scoring twice in the 4th. An RBI single by Nolan Jones and a sacrifice fly by Angel Martinez. Gavin Williams on the mound. The pitch to Suzuki is high and outside for ball 1. Cutter that missed. Seiya's 0 for 2 tonight. Now the 1-0. Seiya hits a high fly ball, deep left center field. Kwan going back. He looks up. It's gone! Into the bleachers for a home run. Seiya Suzuki extends the lead. 4-2 over the Guardians. Here in the 6th for Seiya. That's home run number 23.
Now, he talked about it earlier in the ball game that Williams kept trying to stay away from the right-handed hitters with that cutter. He spins a slider up there, or a breaking ball, but it doesn't get to the outside corner. It stays up and out over the plate. And Seiya hammers this ball high in the air. Thomas lost this ball about halfway running to the ivy. He knew kind of where it was at, but he did not see it, and it ends up in the seats.
Pete Crow Armstrong looks at a ball low and outside, 1-0. For Seiya, a 378-foot drive. Might have been in the 2nd or 3rd row. The 1-0. Tap foul at the plate. That one took a bite out of PCA. He wears that shin guard and toe protector, but it still...
Yeah, he didn't hit the guard, I can promise you that.
It still found an area that was not covered.
Yeah.
holding the top of his foot. He's okay. 1-1. And when I say okay, I mean okay from up here to me.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's still
not
throbbing.
he's not on the ground, flopping around, but he's still hurt.
Here's the 1-1. PCA pops it up. Foul out of play off to the right. 1-2. Another hefty home run. Official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty strength that's anything but ordinary. So Seiya now with 23 home runs and 70 RBIs. 4-2 Cubs here in the 6th as PCA swings and pops it foul out of play off to the left. Count remains 1-2. The RBIs, a reminder that RBIs by Cubs batters are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. The 1-2. And a high fly ball to right center field. Shallow, playable. Jones comes in and makes the catch. 1 away.
Pete right on time, but hits this ball right off the end of the bat. It was a good swing, but just kind of ran out of bat and probably broke his bat on that swing.
So here comes Dansby Swanson with 1 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubs up 4-2.
Dansby singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Part of 4 straight hits in a row for the Cubs in that 2nd.
Swanson looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
Dansby single, a line drive bullet to right center.
Here comes the pitch. Swanson lines one right into the glove of Santana, angling toward the line behind first base for out number 2.
Second ball the Cubs have hit, one by Tucker, now one by Swanson. Line drive bullet right at the first baseman, Santana.
So here comes Michael Busch, who's reached base twice tonight. An RBI single in the 2nd, and then he walked in the 4th. Left-handed batter hitting at 276 on the year. Here's the pitch. Smoked off the glove of Williams and through into center field for a base hit. So that's Busch's 2nd hit of the game.
Got that cutter inside, and he turns on it and hits it right back through the middle. Williams sticks the glove out. It hits the tip of the glove, goes into center field. Bushy now 2 for 2 with a walk, so he's been on base all 3 times.
And he's been feeling it. He entered play hitting .300 over his last 15 games. Now time called by the catcher Naylor. He walks out to the mound to have a conversation with Williams.
Williams at 89 pitches now, and this is just a little stall, I think, for Cleveland to get somebody up in the bullpen or to get them ready. We do not. Now they got somebody up, just flashed on the board.
Yeah, right-hander Matt Festa started warming up. So 2 down here in the last of the 6th. Busch with good speed at first, being held on by Santana. The batter is Carson Kelly, who's 2 for 2. A couple of doubles and 2 RBIs. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Williams, who takes a peek at first. That's where Busch is. High set. And now the pitch. Kelly looks at a strike curveball that spun in the zone. 0-1. Second baseman Martinez playing up the middle just to the right of the bag. Big hole on the right side of the infield. The 0-1. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Kelly. In the outfield, center fielder Thomas shading Kelly to pull toward left center. So a huge hole in right center field for Kelly. The 1-1. Way outside, 2 balls and a strike. Kelly on the year now hitting at 267 with 28 runs batted in. A long set, and the 2-1. Called strike fastball, 96 miles per hour, right at the knees, middle of the plate, 2-2.
Yeah, Kelly's looking for that cutter and got the fastball instead. It's be a good time now to think about that big hole on the right side of the diamond or right center field. And now Thomas starts walking towards the middle of the diamond in center, thinking the same thing.
Here comes the 2-2. Kelly pulls one deep down the left field line, but it hooks foul out of play.
Williams got a break. He hung a breaking ball. He hung the curve ball there to Kelly, and he hammered it, but just hooked it foul.
And we have Insects joining us in the booth. He saw you glaring at him, and he spun right out of the booth.
Sure it wasn't you flopping around over there?
No, it was you. You're more intimidating than me, I think. Here's the 2-2. Way outside. Full count. All right, it may have been me flopping. Or arms and legs all over the place. I don't like creatures in our
wasn't
booth.
bad, but yeah. It's all right.
All right, Bush will be going here. 3-2 the count, 2 away. He goes, the pitch. Off the outside, ball 4. Williams not happy with home plate umpire Nick Lentz. That was a fastball that apparently missed. And Kelly heads to first after drawing the walk.
Yeah, last pitch borderline, but the catcher's hitting, and they usually get the benefit of the doubt a lot. And Williams, yeah, he's not real happy, but that'll be the end of the day for him.
Guardians manager Stephen Vogt comes out to the mound, asks for the baseball, gets it from Williams, and his night is done. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, official water official. Guardians, he's 1-2 in 24 games this season out of the pen with a 5.57 ERA. Cubs have already scored once in this 6th inning on a solo home run by Seiya Suzuki. They lead the Guardians 4-2, and they're looking for more. Michael Bush at second, Carson Kelly at first, 2 away, and Nico Horner will stand in. 0 for 1 with a walk. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Festa, who sets up near the ear. High leg kick and pitch. Horner swings and pops it up shallow center. Thomas coming in, and he makes the catch with Ramirez ducking in underneath him. Out number 3. Cubs lead 2 but score 1. After 6, it's the Cubs with a 4-2 lead over Cleveland. On the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
life, Z.
Matthew Boyd still out there, Coom, as we get set for the top half of the 7th inning. The Cubs with a 4-2 lead over the Guardians. Game 1 of a 3-game set between these two. Nolan Jones will lead things off for Cleveland. The Guardians' right fielder is 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the 4th. Boyd has thrown 77 pitches tonight. Still out there to begin the 7th inning. Works on the third base side of the rubber, sets the belt. Now rocks back and deals. The first pitch to Jones is a breaking ball that floats into the zone for a strike. 0-1. Start of a 6-game homestand for the Cubs. 3 with Cleveland and 3 more with St. Louis. The pitch, it's a high fly ball, shallow center. Pete Crow-Armstrong there makes the catch. He's angling toward right center. 1 away, the first out. Brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Good pitch, fastball inside to get the first out here of the inning. Hardest working player of the game. That's brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. That's got to be Matthew Boyd. He has been outstanding so far. This next pitch will be pitch number 80 for him.
Angel Martinez at the plate, shows bunt. Pulls it back, curveball low, 1-0 the count.
But you would think if he can get a clean inning, he's going to be able to go through the 7th inning. He threw 8 innings in his last outing, now 7.
1-0 delivery inside, 2-0 now on Martinez. Yeah, you're right, Kuhn.
He has been very good. Good fastball, a lot of strikes. He's ERA now down to 2.66.
Remarkable. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Martinez looks at a strike on the outside corner, 2-1. A changeup from Boyd. And Boyd has been the best starter for the Cubs this season. A 2-1. High fly ball hit to center. Routine and playable for Crow-Armstrong, who makes the catch. 2 away.
Back-to-back flyouts right to Pete. 2 routine outs as Boyd just continues to mow them along. Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
And here comes Bo Naylor, the catcher. Left-handed hitter, open stance, hitting at 167 on the year. He's 0 for 2 tonight. The pitch, nubbed foul off to the left, 0-1.
Now, if he gets Naylor in one of these first couple pitches, you're at 83 pitches, 84 right now. Do you run him back out there one more time and try to get a couple more outs? It wouldn't surprise me.
The 0-1.
Ooh, where we got that one?
Apparently it missed low, but not if you look at that little board.
No,
that's
a strike.
Right at the bottom of the zone. Boyd working quickly, the 1-1. That's inside to Naylor, missed with a slow-moving breaking ball, 2-1. Caleb Thielbar, the left-hander, is warming up in the Cubs bullpen. Boyd has retired 10 in a row. Now the 2-1. Breaking ball pulled on the ground, foul off to the right. 2-2 on Naylor. And the Cubs with an opportunity to pick up some ground. The Pirates, a 1-0 shutout victory over the Cardinals. And the Brewers were rained out in New York and were scheduled to play the Mets. Lights have taken nearly full effect tonight here at Wrigley Field. 2 away, 2-2 the count on Naylor here in the top of the 7th. The pitch. Ground ball hit to second off the glove of Nico. He retrieves, flips the first. It is in time to get Naylor out number 3. Matthew Boyd has retired 11 in a row. Cubs lead 4-2 over the Guardians, and now it's time to stretch at the friendly confines. Here is Jeopardy host Ken Jennings to conduct the stretch.
Ken Jennings.
Good evening, Chicago. All right, Cubs fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday with Rahimi and Harris, 10 a.m. to 2 on The Score.
Make your house a home.
Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha. And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bock beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town. Dude. Oh, best hot dog I've ever had. Best hot dog I've ever had. I love this, man.
This is how I grew up eating hot dogs.
Bottom of the 7th inning at Wrigley Field. Cubs 4, Guardians 2. New man on the mound for Cleveland. Eric Sabrowski, a left-hander, takes over. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents, sponsored by Sloan. As Matt Shaw digs in, right-handed batter. Sabrowski deals, and the first pitch to Shaw is up high for a ball, 1-0. Sloan is the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. Here's the 1-0. Shaw fouls it out of play off to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Sabrowski with a just over a 5 ERA in AAA this season. 6 appearances.
And the pitch. Foul back off the screen, 1-2. And 9 big league games now for Sabrowski over the last couple of seasons. Brad Keller has started warming up in the Cubs bullpen. And the pitch. Breaking ball up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Shaw. He's 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. Sabrowski works on the third base side of the rubber. High leg kick and pitch. And that one is in the dirt. Another breaking ball, 3-2. Cubs scored 3 times in the second. Michael Busch an RBI single. Carson Kelly a 2-run double. Seiya Suzuki hit a solo shot in the 6th. That's where we stand. 4-2 Cubs over the Guardians. Here in the last of the 7th. Shaw waits. The payoff pitch. High and outside. Ball 4.
Good at bat by Matthew. Not chase anything out of the zone. Cubs got leadoff guy on. This would be a great inning to just get a run across, a little insurance run. Or 2 if somebody can blast one to the seats.
So Happ digs in. Switch hitter now batting from the right side against the lefty Sabrowski. And the pitch shows bunt. And missed it. Takes strike 1.
Yeah, we don't see Ian looking to bunt very often, but he looks to drag bunt that pitch and took a fastball inside. Bunted right through it.
0-1 the count. Shaw at first, no one out. Throw to first. Shaw dives back in safely. No tag by Santana. There's a big hole on the right side of the infield with Martinez playing up the middle just to the right of the second base bag. Shaw goes. The pitch is a called strike. Throw to second. Tag applied in time. And Shaw is caught stealing. Cubs saying hold on here. Craig Counsell might challenge. He's waiting for his replay man, Alex Smith. Cubs will not challenge. And Shaw erased from the bases, caught stealing. 2-4, Naylor to Martinez.
Very close play at second base. Shaw goes in his throw just up the line a little bit. Martinez with the tag at the hip, but the hand does not get in before the tag. Nice throw by Naylor. He got rid of that ball in good shape.
The count 0-2 on Happ. The pitch. Missed inside with a fastball, 1-2. So that's 4 outs on the bases by the Cubs here tonight. The 1-2. Fouled out of play off to the right.
Yeah, that'll be something that I know, for Craig Counsell, that's one of those things that you had 4 hits in a row and you scored 3 runs, 4 hits, and you still had 2 men on and ran yourself, 2 guys get picked off in a play at the plate on a wild pitch, thrown out for the first out of the inning. And you're trying to just, to make things happen, but didn't work out very well in that inning for the Cubs. And same thing here, 4 outs on the bases.
Last pitch up high, a curveball that missed. So 2-2 the count. The next pitch, a swing and miss by Happ. Strike 3, got him with a fastball. Top of the zone off the outside. 2 away.
Good gas to get Ian. They climbed the ladder on him. Fastball up and in.
So here comes Kyle Tucker. And the pitch. Bounce foul off to the right by Tucker, 0-1. Cubs up 4-2, 2 away. Bottom of the 7th. Game 1 of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Guardians. Cubs will have Shota Imanaga on the mound tomorrow night. The 0-1 just outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tanner Bybee, a right-hander, will be on the mound for the Guardians. Good pitching matchup on tap. Shota, a 2.54 ERA. Bybee, 3.90. Here's the 1-1. Tucker, a check swing foul ball off the netting to the left. Seiya Suzuki was in the on-deck circle, had the head down, and that one just whizzed by him. Can't be a fun feeling.
Just hope it doesn't hit you.
1-2, lefty-lefty matchup. Sobrowski works his motion and the pitch. Tucker swings, lines one into center field. It drops in for a base hit.
A 2-out single for the Cubs here in this 7th inning. See if Tuck now, who has been extremely good at picking the right situation to steal a bag. He's been thrown out once in 23? He's got 23 bags, I believe, and right now would be a good time to get another stolen base.
So Seiya Suzuki stands in against the left-hander Sobrowski. Last time up, Seiya hit a solo shot to left center. The pitch bounced foul off to the left. 0-1. Seiya, the designated hitter tonight. And designated hitters for the Cubs are sponsored by BBQ Authority. Visit BBQ Authority in Lisle. Suzuki now with 23 home runs and 70 RBIs, hitting at .258. Powerful right-handed batter. Tucker's leaning. He doesn't go. The pitch low and inside to Seiya. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'll get you station identification as time permits. A long set and the pitch. Seiya pops it up. Shallow left center. Drifting back is the shortstop Rocchio, and he makes the catch. It looked like for a moment he lost the ball, but was able to secure it for out number 3. Tucker stranded on the bases. After 7, it's the Cubs with a 4-2 lead over the Guardians. On the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Spiegel and Holmes.
Four-two Cubs over the Guardians. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Your headquarters for Cubs Talk, it's the Mullen Haw Show, mornings 5:30 to 10 on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Top of the 8th inning here at Wrigley. Cubs up 4-2. This 8th inning sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. To donate your car to Daisy.
Thank you very much, Coombs. So Matthew Boyd's night is done. Brad Keller in to pitch the 8th inning for the Cubs. Hard-throwing right-hander. Daniel Schneemann pinch hitting, and Keller starts him off with a fastball outside for ball one. Schneemann pinch hitting for the shortstop, Brian Rocchio. Schneemann a left-handed batter. Keller deals. Called strike on the outside corner, a blazing 98-mile-per-hour heater from Keller.
Another great outing by Matthew Boyd. 7 innings, 5 hits, 5 punch-outs in the game. And only 1 walk, gave up 2 runs, and both earned. But, you talk about just giving Cubs a great chance to win. Matthew did that again tonight.
A quality start for Boyd. The 1-2 called, strike 3. Keller freezes Schneemann with a fastball on the outer edge. 1 away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Good gas right in the outside corner at the knees. 98 miles an hour with this little. It has like just a little bit of cutting action as four-seamer as Keller's perfect pitch.
Stephen Kwan swings and misses at a slider. 0-1. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by our Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Keller working quickly, high leg kick and pitch. Kwan looks at the ball outside, 1-1, a 99-mile-per-hour heater. Quality starts by Cubs pitchers, sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Start your next project with quality paints from Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs. As Keller misses with a slider outside, 2-1. And pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Here's the 2-1. Kwan takes a ball inside. It's now 3-1. Kwan's 1 for 3 tonight. The batting average at .296. And the pitch. Inside ball 4.
That's not what Keller wanted to do. He tried to get inside a couple times and just couldn't keep the ball on the plate. And now you got a fast guy at first, but at the end of the day, you got a tying run at the plate.
And that man is a pinch hitter. Kyle Manzardo will bat for David Fry, left-handed batter with good pop. Keller, the right-hander, kicks and fires. Line foul on a play off to the left. Manzardo with 13 home runs. Bush holding Kwan on at first. 1 on, 1 out for Cleveland. Cubs with a 4-2 lead here in the top of the 8th. A long set by Keller and the pitch. Manzardo takes a ball inside, 1-1. Manzardo on the year hitting at .222. Here comes the 1-1. Pulled right into the glove of corner. Caught through the first. Not in time. diving back in safely to avoid being doubled up. Quan. And now correct counsel saying, hold on. Let me check with my replay man, Alex Smith. And the Cubs are going to challenge.
Yeah, I thought they had him at first base, but we are quite a ways away. It just seemed like the ball beat him to first base, but close. I don't think Nico got off the best throw that he wanted. It more of like a changeup.
Call first base.
But the Cubs are going to challenge this. It's be a big play in the game if they get the double play.
They're taking a second look. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Have you seen a replay yet, Kuhn?
Not a good one yet. It's real close. I think he's out. I did originally when I saw it first. And now we're getting a little better view here. Now he's kind of blocked out on that one. With Michael's foot. Quan's hand goes right in behind Michael's foot. This is going to be very tough to overturn if you don't have a very good angle. And to me, it doesn't seem like there's been a very good angle so far.
They're showing us one now from behind the play.
But we've seen that one once before, and you just don't see exactly, is his hand fingertips on the bag or not? I can't tell. I would say they're not, but you have to be, you got to know that that's the case. And so then you'd go back to the call on the field, and the call on the field is safe.
Yeah, unless there's another angle that we're not seeing. Here's Vic Carapaz of the crew chief.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Chicago losing their challenge.
Now, it was going to be very close. It was a very close play. Quan knows it, too. He just gave it the old whoosh. He knew. He might have been out. I just don't think, none of the camera shots here had a very good close view of that play, so you really couldn't overturn it.
All right, so 2 away, the dangerous Jose Ramirez at the plate. He represents the tying run with Quan at first. Throw to first. Quan dives back in safely. Ramirez batting from the left side for the first time tonight. He's 0 for 3. Keller works on the extreme first base side of the rubber. And the pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Ramirez. Cubs up 4-2 over Cleveland. We're in the top of the 8th. Ramirez at .306, 13 home runs. And the pitch. A high fly ball into center field. Playable for Crow. Armstrong drifting back, makes the catch. Out number 3. Quan stranded on the bases. Ramirez 0 for 4 tonight. Middle 8. It's the Cubs.
Take a look at what we find. Looks like we've got Lauren Shahadi.
Animation is great.
We got Robert Flores, one of the stars of MLB Central with Lauren Shahadi. Then we got Mark DeRosa. Look at that. He looks like Superman, does he not? Right?
He was when he was with the Cubs.
Harold Reynolds looking ripped in a tracksuit in Studio 42. There I am. The hair's all
I know this guy.
Look at that jawline.
Here we are, Arlington, Texas. This is the Graham Slam Burger. So 2 patties, brisket, caramelized onion, American cheese, ranch aioli or ranch mayo, if you will.
Oh yeah, we're in Texas.
Yeah.
It's something that you definitely want to take a picture of and just put on the gram. I took a bite of it, but it still looks dope.
It's a burger that looks great, but also delicious.
WW Law right now. Don't hesitate. Call the 8s, 312-888-8888.
Daniel Schneemann stays in the game for Cleveland, and he takes over at shortstop. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Wrigley Field. Cubs with a 4-2 lead over Cleveland. Pete Crow Armstrong, Dansby Swanson, and Michael Busch due up for the Cubs. PCA will lead things off against Eric Sabrowski, the left-hander.
Cubs would love to get an insurance run or two in this inning.
The pitch. Breaking ball pop foul out of play off to the left by Crow Armstrong. 0-1. Crow Armstrong is 1 for 3 tonight with a single and a run scored. Sabrowski on the third base side of the rubber. High leg kick and pitch. Crow Armstrong dribbles one past Sabrowski, fielded behind. Oh, it's off the hand of Schneemann. Right up the middle behind second. And PCA is safe at first.
This is a breaking ball. Pete Armstrong out front of it and cues it right off the end of the bat. The pitcher cannot make a play. It ends up bouncing and then going behind him. And it goes back through the middle. And then the shortstop tries to come in and barehand this ball. That was really no chance. And Pete ends up with a single.
And that'll be all for Sabrowski. Right-handed hitting Dansby Swanson due up. Stephen Vogt is going to make another pitching change. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions.
To see all this excitement around what I love to do growing up, it's crazy.
What's your favorite thing about this whole event so far?
The fusion of sports, entertainment, and cards. Because to me, cards have always been entertainment, and they're getting their just dessert now.
Mets. So Milwaukee remains 2 back of the Cubs, pending the result of tonight's ball game here at Wrigley Field. Third place St. Louis, a loser. Pirates edge the Cardinals 1-0. So the Cardinals are now 3.5 games behind the Cubs, pending the result of this game tonight here at Wrigley Field. Right-hander Jacob Junis, the new man on the mound for Cleveland. Dansby Swanson at the plate. Pete Crow Armstrong at first. 4-2 Cubs. No one out here in the 8th. And the pitch is grounded deep in the hole at short, fielded by Schneemann. The second for 1 on to first. And Swanson beats it out, but the lead man PCA erased from the bases. 1 away.
Hot smash in the hole at short. I think they're still holding on here to see if they're going to challenge this or not. And they are not, as Dansby beats the throw by half a step. Be a good time for Dansby to take off for second base. See if he can get a runner in scoring position for Michael Busch.
Busch has reached base 3 times today. An RBI single, a walk, and then another single. The pitch. Ground ball. It bounces off the mound, ricochets in the left field for a base hit. Swanson stops at third. Cubs have men at the corners. Michael Busch has a 3-hit game.
Bushy 3 hits, but on base all 4 times with a walk as he hits this one off Jonas's foot. And it ricochets and goes into short left field. And now the Cubs got a real chance here. You put this ball in play, maybe a sac fly. Cubs could use another run.
So Swanson at third, Busch at first. Good speed on the bases for the Cubs with 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The batter, Carson Kelly. He's got 2 doubles and 2 RBIs tonight. The pitch. Kelly looks at a strike, a slider from Junis, 0-1. A reminder to stay tuned for the toast of the game presented by Binny's Beverage Depot coming up in the 9th inning with Ron Coomer. Now the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Junis missed with a slider. Stay tuned for the Verizon Cubs radio postgame show following our festivities tonight. The pitch. Low and outside, 2-1.
Paul, good slider, but just missed down. Be a good pitch. See if he can drive one to right center field for Kelly.
And the 2-1. And a fly ball, shallow right. Coming in, Jones. He makes the catch, tagging and coming home. Swanson, here's the throw. It's cut off as Swanson slides in safely. Cubs get the insurance run on the sacrifice fly by Carson Kelly. It's now 5-2 Cubs here in the 8th.
Now Dansby tagging up. Gets a good break. Jones coming in. His ball's not hit very deep. Does not get off a very good throw at all from right field. He kind of pulls this throw. It's way offline, and Santana has to go and cut this ball off, so the Cubs get that insurance run we were talking about on a nice sacrifice fly by Carson Kelly.
So 2 away and man at first. Here's the pitch to Nico Horner. It's low. 1-0 the count. Time to see how we did with our guesses in the Vinnie's Beverage Depot attendance game. The attendance tonight here at Wrigley, 38,257. 1-0. Nico looks at a strike on the outside corner. A changeup from Junis, 1-1. That means that Paul Zarang, the maestro, is the winner tonight. Congratulations, Paulie. Now, time called. I think there was an equipment issue with Naylor, the catcher. It's been resolved. All is good. 1-1 the count with Nico at the plate. And now the pitch. Outside. 2-1. Bush at first, being held on by Santana. Junis, the right-hander, works on the extreme first base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. Nico taps it foul off to the left. 2-2.
Nico looked like he was trying to hit that one to Evanston. He's been on a little bit of a home run roll for, almost the full first half. They didn't hit one. And then this last road trip, he hit 3.
Has anything changed with him at the plate?
Yeah, he's hitting home runs.
Here's the 2-2. This is tap foul at the plate. You know what I mean.
Well, he's gotten some pitches he can handle that, he can elevate to the pull side. That's one thing. Got a couple breaking balls that are right in his wheelhouse for doing that. And, just staying balanced through the swing really helps. And he has been on a roll. We've been swinging about well, hitting .291.
Bush at first, 2 away. Now the 2-2. Nico dribbles it foul off to the right. The final phase of the 2025 Pro Spirit MLB All-Star Ballot is now live. Make your Chicago Cubs players All-Stars. Vote at Cubs.com/All-Star. Ground ball hit to short, fielded by Schneemann. The toss to Martinez at second for the force. And that ends the 8th inning, but not before the Cubs add a valuable insurance run on the sacrifice fly by Kelly. 5.
All right, I got a couple packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. Let's open them up and see who's in here. I love the bubble gum. Oh my. Tom Seaver, but with a White Sox uniform on. The franchise for the Mets. I played with him in 1983, my rookie season. I was just in awe with these guys when I saw them in spring training and got a chance to play with them. Baseball cards and memories.
A snack
that Freddie cannot resist?
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yep.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
Nah, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
Cubs up 5-2 here, top of the 9th inning here on a beautiful night at Wrigley. Catch of the game, sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Discover the weekend getaway in Des Moines, where only the S's are silent. Find all the catches at catchdesmoines.com. And catch the game, Pete Crow Armstrong with a nice running catch in left center field early in the ball game. That'll be our catch of the game. And tough plays of the game, sponsored by Loyola Medicine. Loyola Medicine defines tough, and some tough plays for the Cubs. A couple good pickoff moves by Matthew Boyd, got a pickoff, so that was a very good play. Now, Zach Daniel Palencia is going to come in and try to close this game out.
9th inning, 5-2 Cubs over the Guardians. The cleanup man, Carlos Santana at the plate. Switch hitter batting from the left side. The right-hander, Palencia, kicks and fires. The first pitch up high. Missed with a 99-mile-per-hour heater, 1-0.
Cubs stolen bases tonight. They're powered by Arturo Tire, Chicago's hometown tire. Find a dealer at Arturo.com.
Palencia with 8 saves and 9 opportunities. The pitch pulled deep to right. Tucker racing back on the edge of the track. Makes the catch over his head for out number 1.
Very nice start for Daniel here in this 9th. Little slider, backdoor slider on the outside corner. Very good pitch to get the first out of the inning.
Pitching changes by the Cubs, sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Now the batter, Lane Thomas, the center fielder, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Right-handed hitter against the right-hander, Palencia, who works on the first base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
And the 9th inning is brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Palencia kicks and delivers. Called strike. A blazing fastball at 102 miles per hour. Right down the middle. Here comes the 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pure heat. He doubled up on another 102-mile-per-hour fastball. 2 away.
Now for the pitchers, just like the hitters, the warm weather helps you heat up, and it's exactly what Palencia did, throwing a bullet right past the hitter.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs as Nolan Jones steps to the plate. Here's the pitch. That's high, ball 1. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. The 1-0 delivery by Palencia. Jones swings and misses. 101 on the gun.
Meat of the order tonight is presented by Chef IQ Sets. Never under overcook your food again. Purchase at chefiq.com.
Now the 1-1. An awkward check swing and miss. Strike 2. And the Guardians are down to their last strike. 5-2 Cubs. Crowd on its feet making a lot of noise here at Wrigley Field. Palencia peers in. Gets the sign from Kelly. Straightens up, sets at the belt. Here's the 1-2. Foul back off the screen by Jones.
A good fastball at the top of the zone by Palencia.
Cubs looking to start the homestand off right. 1-2 the count. Palencia is ready. A long set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cubs start the homestand with a 5-2 win over Cleveland.
Well, nice job by Daniel coming in, throwing a lot of strikes, mixed in a few wrinkles with that breaking ball, but an excellent job by him. Great fastball, the best fastball we've seen from him, and that's saying something because he rushes it up there around 100 all the time. Today, 102 with a couple of them. And a very nice win to start this homestand and get back on the winning ways for the Cubs here in front of 38,200.
With that save, Great Lakes Credit Union makes another donation to the Northern Illinois Food Bank. GLCU, banking for a greater good. Help close the door on hunger. Visit solvehungertoday.org. As Palencia picks up his 9th save of the season. Matthew Boyd, the winner, a quality start. He went 7 innings, giving up just 2 runs, improving to 8-3 on the year. And the Cubs win their 50th ball game of the season, now 50-35. Let's send it downstairs to Bruce.
All right, Zach and Ron here with Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete, a real good win for you guys, but it starts with Matthew Boyd, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He set the tone for us, and held him to 2 runs. He minimized. He continues to just throw clean innings of baseball and finds different ways to get outs. Getting that out via pickoff was huge. Saved him some pitches, and you just saw Matty Boyd go another 7 strong. So
you guys in the hitters meetings, you do a lot of good work, before the games, talk about the pitcher coming up. In your inning, you started off that inning hitting the opposite way. Swanson did the same thing, and then Bush did the same thing. You guys must be doing some good work there.
Yeah, we're always set up to succeed, in this environment. And, I think the boys are, we're ready to continue to execute like we've been doing all year. And, I'm looking forward to helping everybody else out a little bit more too. And, the middle of the lineup's been swinging the crap out of the bat. Seiya going up for a huge insurance run. We're always ready to go produce and